Wait, what's going on?
Oh, nothing, dude.
Okay. All right. All right. Mhm. What? Wait, what did you say? Yep. That's fine. Oh, okay. You're doing the Dusty Roads again, huh? Oh, okay. Okay.
Fuck it.
No, fuck it. All right. Are we live?
We are live.
Oh, snap, son. This is Armbar Audio Live with our Elimination Chamber review feature with my trusted companion
John Kearns, what's up, everybody?
and the third member of Armbar Audio, Sid the NerdyMark. Sid, what's going on?
Hey, man. Things are going great. How are y'all doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
I'm doing fine as well.
Awesome. Good to hear.
All right, we got Sid sound coming
So,
through.
we
got
are
us
here
coming
to
through. We are
discuss
good.
last night's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and we're going to break it down match by match. I got some questions for the both of you. We're going to discuss the road to WrestleMania, and that's what's going on here.
All right.
Sounds
good
good.
to me.
All right, so the first match we had was Akira Tozawa challenging Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title. The match started off with some nice wrist lock chain wrestling before Tozawa started annoying Murphy with chops. Buddy Murphy caught Tozawa's suicide dive and suplexed him. Buddy Murphy grounded Akira with a chin lock that turns into an abdominal stretch until Tozawa hip tosses Murphy to the outside. Murphy comes back in and eats a super kick, a missile drop kick, then a running pump kick. After a few reversals, Akira hits a Saito suplex and a Shining Wizard for two. Murphy lifts Tozawa up like a flapjack on the top turnbuckle, drops Akira into a powerbomb attempt, but Akira hits a beautiful Hurricane Rana for two. This was an amazing spot. There was a fireman carry into a knee, a V-trigger, and a suplex by Murphy for two. A flurry of offense by both, and Akira gets hit, and Akira hits a right, then deadlift German for two. Akira jumped off the second and hit a reverse Rana, which was beautiful. The two head, then comes two headbutt suicide dives, a senton across the back of Murphy as he's draped over the second rope for two. An octopus stretch by Akira Tozawa is reversed into Murphy's Law, and Buddy retains. I personally thought this was a very, very good match with a lot of momentum changes and dodges and reversals. The right man won, but Tozawa looked like a real contender. Sid, what did you think about this match?
Oh yeah, I think definitely I agree with your sentiments. As someone who actually watches 205 Live on a weekly basis and does review it on his channel, I have to say this was an amazing, amazing match and a good showing between these two. I did love. I did have to have one note I wanted to make was actually during the contract signing on 205 Live. Tozawa did reference Neville as the king of the cruiserweights and saying that he took it off of him. That was pretty cool. But anyway, but the match was really good. I think both guys really brought it. And I can see in the future Tozawa being a viable contender for the cruiserweight title. So I mean, I was just happy to see a good match. Again, I mean, my gripes. It should have been on the main show, whatnot. But it's what it is. I don't expect it to be on the main show anymore. I'm not really expecting that from WWE at this point. So I'm not going to disappoint myself like that. However, overall, this is a good match, a good showing. Cruiserweights always put on a good showing during pay-per-views. And once again, if you're not watching 205 Live, do yourself a favor and check it out.
Now, John,
205 Live is fantastic.
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
How did you like Akira Tozawa coming off in this match?
Um, I'm a big Akira Tozawa, Mark. You know that. I think he could have done a little more, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought he looked like a real contender.
Yeah.
Now, you saying that he could have done a little bit more, do you think he gets that chance at WrestleMania, or who do you think's coming up to challenge Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania?
Challenging Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania, I think it would be a shock if they brought in Kushida to do it. But
That would be
if
sweet.
not, Akira Tozawa or Cedric Alexander should be the man to challenge.
Kushida or Cedric.
Or Akira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Sid, you don't think Kushida's coming before WrestleMania, right?
I mean, it's possible, but yeah, I'm gonna say my money goes on after Mania.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get to the main show here. The first match was my match of the evening, probably. It was the women's inaugural tag team title elimination chamber match. Fire and Desire and Boston Hug connection started. I'm not calling them Fire and Desire. I'm calling them Absolution because that's how I know them. Banks with a lucha-like assisted crossbody to the outside. Sonya Deville turns the corner leg headbutt into a beautiful spinebuster for 2. Mandy Rose got her leg stuck in the chamber and Bayley hits a neck breaker. The Riot Squad enter. Pop-up headbutt to Bayley by Sarah Logan after she slams Sasha's arm into a pod. Liv with a grounded enziguri to Rose and running knee to Logan by Deville. Deville with a beautiful kick to Liv, and Bayley tries to pin, but no. Bayley goes up top, but Absolution go for a double suplex. Then the Riot Squad come over for the Tower of Doom spot. The Iconics enter and try to pin everyone, but only gets 2 counts. Double front suplex to Deville from Iconics. Billie Kay sets Bayley up for a knee for Peyton to Bayley, and Sasha breaks the pin. Peyton slammed Sasha's arm on Billy's knee. A big boot and a 2 count. A senton to the outside to a prone Bayley boots Bayley's face, and only a 2 count for Peyton Royce. Naomi and Carmella enter. They set up all the teams together in the corners and hit 4 Bronco Busters. Carmella with a Hurricane Rana to Billy into the chamber. A gory special by Peyton to Naomi. Carmella with a submission on Deville, but Rose breaks it up. Naomi with a big springboard hip attack, and the Iconics take control with a double roll-up jackknife pin combo to eliminate Naomi and Carmella. The Samoan Slaughterhouse come in. The Iconics get everyone to go after them, but retreat themselves into a pod. The Samoan Slaughterhouse cleans house and opens the pod, swing the Iconics into the chamber, and toss them into the ring. A double Samoan drop eliminate the Iconics. Riot Squad with great tandem offense on Samoan Slaughterhouse, but get thwarted, as does Absolution, or Fire and Desire, as they're being called now. I'm going to have to remember that. High running knee by Bayley, then double knees from Banks to Tamina in the corner. A double stack, double knees from the top from Banks to Fire and Desire. Riot Squad with double cross body off the top to the Samoan Slaughterhouse and Fire and Desire for 2. A Samoan drop from the second rope from Jax and a splash from Tamina eliminate the Riot Squad. Nia tries to spear Bayley, but Bayley moves and Jax goes right through the pod. Muay Thai strikes to Tamina, then a Meteora from Banks followed by the elbow from Bayley eliminate the Samoan Slaughterhouse. The 2 teams that started the match, 4 of the women who have been in the Elimination Chamber are the ones left. Fire and Desire and Boston Hug connection. Banks with a backstabber and Bayley to belly for 2 on Deville. Bayley and Banks with Mandy on the top of the pod, but Bayley gets kicked down and Sonya spears Bayley into one of the pod edges. Mandy Rose hits her finisher in the middle of the ring, but Banks kicks out. Sonya accidentally spears Rose. Sonya goes for Banks, but Banks locks in a modified bank statement with her foot as her arm was badly injured and taps out Sonya for the win. The Boss and Hug Connection are the inaugural women's tag team champions. After the match, Charlie Caruso got in the ring to interview them, and Bayley is speechless. Everyone chants, "You deserve it." Sasha says, "No one knows how hard we fought to get them. We do this for not only ourselves, not only the women here, not just you guys, but everyone also in the back. We do it for the women's division." I thought this match ruled. It wasn't the team I picked, but I'm happy with the outcome. All teams I thought shined throughout. I thought a heel team would win so that a face team could chase, but I'm happy with the result. Sid, what did you think about this match?
Yeah, so I also really liked this match, and I thought it was great. And the team I picked did win, which was the Boston Hug Connection. I mean, it just seemed very, very obvious to me that they were going to put the titles on them. But yeah, I mean, I do agree with what you're saying, Tim. They could have put it on some a couple of heels, like the Iconics or the Riot Squad. That would have been cool. I actually wanted Riot Squad to win this one, but I'm totally okay with Boston Hug Connection. As long as they didn't put it on Nia Jackson, Tamina, I'm happy. But anyway, so a lot of great spots on here, like you mentioned. I wanted also. I would be remiss if we did not mention Sarah Logan's gear, which was very reminiscent of the War Raiders. So that looked really awesome. Yeah, I do hope one day she does leave the Riot Squad and join War Raiders. That would be really cool and maybe from a faction. Exactly, yeah, join the raid. Exactly, But anyway, but overall, great match. Congratulations to Sasha and Bayley. I hope this is actually a floating title. I hope this can be defended across both brands because I mean it doesn't seem like they don't have a red or blue color strap on them, so it looks like that's what they're kind of going for, But then again, they do have white straps for all the women's titles, so we'll see. Go ahead.
That leads me to a question for John. The women's tag team titles are white, and it looks like it's going to be a floating title, like Sid said.
Yeah.
Do you think a good way to get the men's tag team divisions back up to where they used to be in prominence is to possibly follow suit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a simple
absolutely.
answer.
I think it should be. I know we're talking about the women's now, but we're segueing for those who are watching or will watch.
Yeah, I think the way to do it is before every pay-per-view, because all the pay-per-views are dual branded now. Before every pay-per-view, you have a match on whatever show isn't currently holding the title to determine number one contender, and that team goes and tries to take the title to their show.
Yes. And this should happen at WrestleMania with the winners of the next match going against the Revival. Because it would be an amazing match. No
matter who they're in there with.
So what about Usos versus Revival?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't want to...
Now, anyway, my thoughts on the women's chamber match.
Yes.
Or the bar. Yeah.
It should have main evented.
It should have main evented?
Yeah, it should have main evented because if they're gonna do and I thought that until I saw Kofi's performance in the men's elimination chamber.
Right.
But we'll talk about that later.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Until I saw the men's match, I thought the women's match should have opened. Women's match should have closed. But I'm really glad it opened because it got me invested in the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I can see that.
As anyone who watches Armbar Audio knows that we usually give out very good grades to most shows we watch because we tend to watch wrestling that we like, but we are doing this pay-per-view because it's the road to WrestleMania, as we will do for Fastlane. Anyway, so the next match was the SmackDown Tag Team title match. The Miz came out and congratulated Bayley and Sasha, which I thought was great. Maurice comes out and announces she's pregnant again. They got a lot of yes chants, and Miz says, "Yes, I still do got it." And that made me laugh. This match had Miz take a lot of damage from the Usos before Miz tagged Shane. Of course, we get the typical Shane stuff. Shane goes for a double coast to coast, but only hits one. He goes for the other, but eats a super kick from Jey Uso. A splash for two as Miz breaks up the pin. Todd Phillips says Miz is fighting for his family. Nice subliminal message, Vince. Jimmy accidentally hits Jay with a suicide dive. Jay laid out on the announce table in a big elbow drop that hardly connects from Shane McMahon. Miz gets his knee up for the splash. A skull-crushing finale on Jimmy, but Jimmy kicks out and rolls up Miz for the win. After the match, Miz looks devastated, picks up Shane, who rubs his head, and they walk out together. Thank God the Usos won. This match felt a lot like a mid-card SmackDown match until Shane got in. I hope Shane turns heel and loses to Miz at Mania and stops his in-ring career for now. It's super predictable every time he's out there.
Yeah.
This match was passable and okay at best.
I don't know that I would say for now. I'd say for good.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Yeah, no, amen. Amen to that.
Sid, what are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, man, I think it was not bad. Like you said, it was a very passable kind of match. I'm surprised that they did put the titles on Usos, despite Jimmy's spat with the police officer. I guess maybe Naomi paid for it by getting eliminated first. So who knows? Anyway,
or Vince was like, "I like that. Yeah, more of that."
No, Tim, that's copyright. That's gimmick infringement. You can't do that. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I thought it was fine.
Wait, you want to talk about gimmick infringement? How do you say goodbye on your show?
I say, this is Sid signing off. You guys take care. Bye-bye.
You damn liar. You say good night and goodbye.
Bang.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I say that when I'm on other people's podcasts or shows. I don't say it for myself because Kenny Omega will sue me. Anyway, he probably won't.
No, what it is, cool, yeah.
No, he'll just probably tell me to beat him in a game of Street Fighter, which I will lose
1v1
horribly. So I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with that. Anyway, but going back to this match, I really did think it was like you said, it was a pretty passable match. It could have been a lot better, but I think it's like you said. I do think we're getting Shane versus Miz at Mania. Who's going to be the heel? Who's going to be the face?
Especially with the way that they ended the match.
Yeah, I was thinking that Shane was going to turn on Miz, like right then and there.
Yeah, he should have, but unfortunately, as we saw later in the show, I think we got more of a hint of who's turning heel, and we will get to that.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, but it was fine for what it is. I think I'm glad Usos won. Like I said, hopefully they hold it until Survivor Series, as do the Revival, and we get Revival versus Usos, which I would be so happy for. But if anyone's going to take the title off of the Usos, it has to be Sanity or the Good Brothers. But they won't do that because we don't know who Sanity is, and we don't know who the Good Brothers are. So, yeah. That's all I got to say.
I agree. It's truly sad how they treated Sanity.
Sad state of affairs.
It has to be up to, like, Eric Young being hurt or something, because Eric Young is the vocal one of the group.
Right.
Something must be going on there, because there's no reason for them not to be on TV otherwise.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on this, or are we going to move on?
I thought the match was okay. Passable's the way to say it. You're right. Yeah. Shane hitting the coast to coast and then trying again was actually pretty cool, but it got shut down by Jay.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
Super kick looked amazing.
Yeah, they got super kicks that would rival our group that we like. That's right here. That's right. Alright, so let's move on to Intercontinental Title Town.
Lashley has the match early on until Finn picks up speed and hits an enziguri. Lashley on the outside and Finn looks for a tope con hilo, but Leo grabs the leg. Cat and Mouse leads Lashley, slamming Balor into the barricade. Leo in with some strikes and tags Lashley back in. A flatliner by Lashley for 2. Leo Rush gets hip toss out of an abdominal stretch. Leo jumps over Finn and tags Lashley, and Lashley works the midsection of Finn Balor, that has been damaged over the past month. Lashley slams Finn, sets up a spear, but Leo tags himself in and misses a frog splash. Stomp to Leo, sling blade to Lashley, tope con hero to both, shotgun dropkick, and coup de grace to Leo Rush, and Finn wins the Intercontinental title. After the match, Lashley slams Leo down. My thoughts is Lashley is a charisma drainer. I would much rather have seen Leo Rush versus Finn Balor. The match was okay. WWE has no idea how to present Lashley, as I feel he did better work in Impact. Yeah. I'm hoping Leo goes back to 205 Live or stays on Raw and competes as a face. I'm very happy that Finn won, but as a match as a whole, I feel that this match was just okay. Sid, since you are a 205 Live reviewer and avid watcher, what do you think should happen with Leo Rush right now?
Right now, I think Leo Rush. Definitely he could have a run as a babyface, but I do really like him as a heel. I think Leo Rush. Whoa, there's the echo.
Yep, that was me. You're good.
Okay. God damn it, John.
Right.
Anyway,
I
think Leo Rush, he could turn babyface, but I would say let him just go back to 205 Live. Let him continue as a heel. And let him win the Cruiserweight title, because I think that would really accentuate his gimmick that he has on TV.
Yeah.
Maybe he may not take it off of Murphy. Maybe if a babyface wins, take it off of them. That would make a little bit more sense to me. But I kind of see Leo either doing that, or like you said, man, he could turn face and pull a Mustafa Ali and become a permanent member of the Raw roster and have another match with Finn Balor. Have a match with Seth Rollins for crying out loud. That would be a good match that I would like to see. If you want a David and Goliath match, him and Drew would be a good match. So there's a lot of things you can do with Rush. Just book him properly and don't just feed him to Braun Strowman every week or Baron Corbin every week.
When you said a face takes the title off of Buddy Murphy, and John said earlier that Akira Tozawa could also be his WrestleMania opponent, it would make sense because Leo Rush, his first opponent was Akira Tozawa, I believe.
Yeah, they could have a nice feud leading into Mania.
I agree.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. Just build up Tozawa a little bit more.
After Mania.
After Mania?
Yeah.
Have
Tozawa beat Buddy. Then have Leo Rush say, I came here to 205 Live. I beat you on my first night. It's time.
Especially with
pay up.
With the positive response that Buddy gets, he can very easily move into a Raw or SmackDown role.
Oh, absolutely. You know how you talk about Shingo being junior heavyweight? Yeah. That's how I feel about Buddy Murphy. He's too big of a guy. His shoulders are too big.
And he can very easily go heavyweight.
Yeah, absolutely. John, you have anything to say?
Even though WWE doesn't really seem to care about the weight divisions as much as New Japan does.
Right.
You don't have to be a heavyweight to go for the heavyweight title.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
What did you think about this match, John?
The match was all right. It was... I agree with you that I would have rather seen a one-on-one contest between Leo and Finn.
Yeah.
Because everything that they did together was fantastic. Lashley is a big, angry, sweaty monster. And is
With no eyebrows.
with no eyebrows. He looks like
Right.
the moon emoji. And
Yeah.
what's wrong?
I'm just honestly, I'm just happy that Balor has a title around him right now.
Hell
because
yes.
It's been a long time coming. And I think, yeah,
He's
Better late
going to
than
defend
never,
it
in
at
my
Mania,
opinion.
obviously.
yeah.
He's going to defend that at Mania. Finn is.
Yeah, and I think it's going to
Yeah.
be against EC3.
He should bring out a custom, because if he's going to Mania, he's going to be Demon.
Hopefully.
If he does that, custom Demon IC title.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Hardy had
Yeah.
in TNA.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy's
That was
one
pretty
was
cool.
so
Like
sweet looking.
a title belt with like teeth on it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Anyway,
Yeah, I could see that.
let's get into the next match, if you want to call it that. The Raw Women's title match, Ronda Rousey,
Oh, it might not have been a match, but it certainly was an event.
yes, or Sonya Deville, if you'd like to call her, against the leader of the Riot Squad,
Sonya
Ruby
Deville?
Riot.
Sonya Blade, dude.
Yeah,
Sonya
Sonya Blade, Sonya Deville, Sonya this, Sonya that. I don't give a shit.
Why are there so many
Everyone,
Sonyas?
why is there
too?
so many Sonyas? I can't put this together. Anyway, Charlotte comes out and tells Charlie Caruso she's going to Mania and she's glad last night she got to humiliate and decimate the man at a live event. She says Becky needs everyone's approval. When Charlotte looks in the mirror, her reflection gives her all the approval and love she needs. She's the best in all of WWE. I thought that this part, Charlotte is really channeling her father. It reminds me of whenever
I'm just gonna hold
Charlotte
this up for this whole segment
feuded
here.
with Paige. What'd you say?
I'm just gonna hold this up for the whole
You're right.
segment.
So, yeah, that's my little thing there. Ronda dresses Sonya Blade for Mortal Kombat and quickly tosses Ruby out of the ring. When Ruby re-enters, she gets a Piper's Pit and it goes right into the armbar for the quick win. Charlotte goes in and stares down Ronda, but Becky comes through the crowd on crutches and gets in the ring. Becky chants from the entire arena. She's the man chants from the entire arena. Becky beats Charlotte brutally with her crutches and stands fine looking down at Charlotte. Ronda and Becky square off with crutches and Becky offers Charlotte to Ronda, then assaults Ronda from behind with the crutch, going wild on both. Becky is the man, and Ronda got busted open.
And if
Stone
it bleeds, we can kill it.
Cold Daniel Lynch, as I like to call him.
Right down to being carried out of that bitch with her hands behind her back.
That's right. I can't wait to see where they take this. Most likely a triple threat at Mania. But I have to
Even
ask
so,
both of you
it's
guys.
fine. I don't care.
I have to ask both of you guys if this is the triple threat at Mania. Who's defending against? Who's Asuka defending against?
Who, Asuka?
Yeah, who's she gonna fight?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, John, why don't you answer first? Let me think about this.
I think they have enough time to build up a contender. If not Charlotte or Becky, I'd say the other top female star on SmackDown would be Naomi.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Although it seems like they're building Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville
That is true.
because they were the last ones in the chamber.
Oh, I think Sonya versus
Asuka.
Asuka would be amazing.
Yeah.
With all
Yeah,
the punches
that
and
would be good.
kicks, because
Really
they
good
both have
strikes.
MMA styles.
Now, someone like me, and you guys know this. We talk about this in the chat. I know that it's probably
Chat.
very much a pipe dream, but I really do think it should be Ember Moon who faces off against Asuka.
I agree, but
She's
how do we
still-
get there?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't. Maybe have a. I mean, you can't really do a Rumble match for that.
Yeah.
You can't really. Maybe Money in the Bank. Maybe after Money in the Bank, she can. Maybe, I know it's not. I know it's after Mania,
Yeah.
but Money in the Bank. Ember wins the briefcase and cashes in on Asuka, and we get the match.
Okay, so you're looking farther ahead down the line.
Yeah, that's the only scenario I can see if we want to actually do Ember. But other than that, I can agree. Naomi, not Becky, Sonya, Deville, or hell, even Mandy Rose is fine. Yeah, any of them are fine with me. To be frank with you, yeah. But
Yeah.
personally, if I was Vince McMahon, I would probably say Ember Moon. But we'll see.
My other question here is: do you guys think it's going to be a triple threat, or does Becky Lynch somehow get a one-on-one match at WrestleMania?
I mean, my hope is that she somehow gets a one-on-one, but we know WWE booking. We know that they won't have
Yeah.
singles matches for titles at WrestleMania. I can't
Yeah.
believe that they're not throwing somebody into Rollins and Lesnar yet.
Right.
Yeah, like mine. Yeah, like they didn't throw in Braun yet or something like
Yeah.
that. No, just don't give him ideas, John. Let's
I
not
know.
give him ideas. But no, I think I have to agree with John's sentiments here. I would love to see Ronda versus Becky in a one-on-one capacity. Maybe after Mania, we'll see that down the line. However,
Yeah.
at this point, it's going to be a triple threat between Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. And by the way, a quick note: I think Ronda looks amazing as Sonya Blade, and I think she should keep that that should be her attire from now on in the
Yeah,
ring. I
I
think
like
that
it.
just looks so badass. But yeah, I think it's fine. The match itself, I mean,
I
I
think
don't
they
know
should
what it
make
was,
another Street
but
Fighter movie.
Yeah.
yeah, because the first one was so good. But that's okay. We could. Yeah, but I know it's all good. I can see where you're coming from, Tim. But anyway, yeah, I don't think that we're getting Ronda versus Becky one-on-one at Mania. Maybe after Mania, but I think for right now we're going to stick with the triple threat.
Yep. All right, so the next match was probably the worst match of the evening.
Oh no.
The no DQ match between Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman. Corbin threw his TGI Fridays vest, then goes to town with a kendo stick. Braun got the stick and exclaimed, "I don't need a stick to kick your ass!" and breaks it over his
Apparently he
knee.
did.
Whoa, was Triple H
Yeah.
just now?
Yeah, the ending
That's what
right
that was.
there.
Yeah,
kinda
it's just-
sounded- Fuck it. Running train on the outside. Then a second time, Baron baits him into the steps. Baron uses the steps a bunch until Braun goes down and does a Braun taunt. Braun with a splash, then a big boot. Braun gets a table and leads it in the corner. A running power slam through the table, and Drew McIntyre's music hits as he comes down with a chair. He's distracting Braun, and Lashley comes from behind with a chair. They both whack Braun with chairs, a headbutt by Drew as Braun tries to get up, and then a spear by Lashley, a claymore to Braun. As they put two tables on top of each other, they stand on steel steps and shield powerbomb Braun through the tables, and Baron Corbin wins. I'm going to go to John with this first question.
All right.
Why is Drew McIntyre with the charisma drainer and the scrub?
I have no freaking idea. I could not begin to fathom a guess. The man should have won the Royal Rumble, should be facing Lesnar at Mania, and he's stuck with the TGI Fridays manager and the fucking Impact reject.
It's insane to me that Drew McIntyre
It's
is in
insulting.
this position. First, he comes in as a diesel to Ziggler's Shawn Michaels, and now he is
But even that worked at least a little bit.
and now he's in like somewhat of a stable with two other guys who are just going to bring him down.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that he might help bring them up, but Lashley and Baron Corbin aren't new.
Right.
People already have their minds made up about these guys. So, my question to you, Sid, is why is Braun getting hit with the mid-card sting?
That is a fantastic question, and I mean, Braun at this point, I think like they've kind of Even Vince has kind of made up his mind on what Braun Strowman is, and he's basically the replacement to the Big Show at this point. So he's
Yeah.
just a big dude who comes in, kicks all the ass in the world, and then boom, he gets his ass handed to him because, well, like I said, he's the Big Show now. But I don't think that they plan to put the title on him anytime soon. Any title on him anytime soon. He's gonna be that big monster that's lurking around. I think until Lars Sullivan makes it to the main roster, he's probably not going to have anything of substance to do. So yeah, and I don't know what the hell. Honestly, when Drew came out, I thought they may try. A part of me thought, okay, they're going to swerve us, and he's actually going to help Strowman, and he's going to beat the crap out of Baron. I thought that would have been a lot better, to be frank with you.
I agree because he's a great face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a great face. He's a good baby face, actually, if you watch NXT for reference. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I honestly, guys, I literally did take a bathroom break during this match, so I really would rather not talk about it and go on to the next one.
So we get a couple of segments. The Miz and Shane are in the trainer's room, and Shane's being looked at. Miz freaks out, saying
Miz
he
was
made a
awesome
promise, and he's better than that. He throws some stuff, and Shane tells him to calm down and go home, and he will see him on Tuesday. So this outburst by Miz kind of tells me that he's the one who's going to turn heel.
Possible.
But who knows still? They still have a nice ways away from April. What were you saying, John?
I said Miz was fantastic in this.
Yeah. He's really good.
He's good at everything he does.
Yeah, I agree. Then, Sid, we got Lacey Evans comes out for no apparent reason. It was really weird as we get a commercial and then them talking about Mania. Was Lacey drunk or fooled by an agent?
Something.
What?
I said, was Lacey drunk or fooled by an agent?
I don't know. I don't know what she was doing. I think I told you this on the Facebook group, but I'm not gonna do the impression. But I think Vince just went, well, I just saw this new movie called Transformers, and they had a whole bunch of blondes in there, and that's why the movie became a hit. So we need to pepper our pay-per-view with blondes, just blondes everywhere. Just bring them all out. We got Mandy, we got Charlotte. Now we got to bring this new. We got this girl who's also with Charlotte. Just bring her out. Oh, look, it's Charlotte again. Just bring out Charlotte again. And this time she's wearing a dress. Anyway, I'm getting confused. But yeah, that's kind of what Vince McMahon was thinking. He saw Transformers and brought out Lacey Evans. That's what.
I mean, I think that they brought her out to like keep the crowd engaged while they were doing all their promos.
Okay, it was basically
and everything.
This was more or less like.
But why did the camera catch her? Like the camera was not supposed to catch her.
All right. This says
or were they? I don't know.
Okay, I saw something and I was looking it up. Meltzer says that last night's segment featuring Evans was step one in the plan for a super big push for her character. The intention behind Evans' brief walk on the stage ramp was to further expose her to the universe and to acknowledge that Evans is an important woman to watch.
Well, it came off goofy.
Yeah, it did.
And
it was more or less.
Weird.
It was more or less like it kind of more or less became Emelina. To be frank with you.
I mean, they had enough time on the pay-per-view to where they could have had her do a squash job against one of the other
she
teams.
Actually tweeted, "Y'all didn't think I was going to sit back and not show my classy face during a pay-per-view, did you? Hashtag you nasties."
She should have taken some notes. She should have taken notes from Velveteen Dream and how he showed up in NXT.
Yeah, she should have had some guys on her arms.
Yeah.
But a classy woman wouldn't do that, Tim. Come on. Stop being such a nasty.
Have you ever seen Cleopatra?
Yeah?
She got carried around by half-naked dudes all the time. Anyway, let's get into the main event. The men's EC title match. Huh?
Sid.
Yeah?
Okay.
Ah, there you are. We had a weird sound come through.
Before entering the So Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe start the match, and before entering, Daniel says when geniuses try to enlighten the masses, they get punished. He doesn't want to be a martyr, but he will champion for the planet and for the masses who just continually say a stupid phrase instead of opening up their minds.
Right.
He gets in the ring, and Samoa Joe takes control early on, chopping Bryan against the chamber. Then in the ring, he hits a power bomb into the Boston Crab, then into an arm submission, but Bryan turns it into a pin. Bryan stings Joe's arm and slams it into the edge of the pod. Daniel chops Joe again, but Joe chops him in the ground, into the ground. The same thing happens again. Drop toe hold sends Joe head first into the middle turnbuckle. Fickle kicks, and Bryan steps back as Kofi enters. Kofi jumps over Joe and hits Bryan, then a high five flow to the back of Joe for 2. Kofi draped over the top rope, and Bryan hits a knee to the back of his neck. Bryan goes for the top of the pod and makes fun of Joe. Joe throws Kofi into the corner, and Kofi jumps up to Bryan and chases him across the chains of the chamber like a Mario game. Bryan gets down, but a coffin drop from Kofi to Joe and Bryan. Joe sentons Bryan and Kofi, and AJ enters. A double DDT to Bryan and Kofi for 2. Bryan climbs the chamber again, but phenomenal. AJ Styles' phenomenal forearms to the back, sending Bryan off the chamber. A coquina clutch on Kofi, but Kofi hits a chin breaker. Then a phenomenal forearm comes out of nowhere and eliminates Jobber Joe. Jeff Hardy enters and hits some of his signature offense before AJ reverses a twist of fate into a Pele kick. Bryan just thrashing Kofi against the chamber. Jeff Hardy hits a senton off the pod onto the turnbuckle to AJ, but when Hardy gets up, he gets hit with a Bushido knee, and Hardy is eliminated. A tree of woe on AJ, kicks and drop kicks to AJ, a suplex German from Bryan to Kofi, and AJ to Bryan.
Yeah.
Randy enters. He clotheslines Kofi and Bryan and throws Kofi into AJ. A backbreaker to Kofi from AJ. An RKO from a phenomenal forearm eliminates AJ Styles. Hangman DDT from the top to Kofi from Orton. Orton sets up for an RKO. Bryan runs in and gets power slammed. Trouble in Paradise from Kofi eliminates Orton. Kofi, the man who pinned Bryan on SmackDown, is the only opponent for Bryan left. They trade blows until Kofi misses a Trouble in Paradise. Fickle kicks again. Kofi ducks and hits an SOS for 2. Kofi goes for a splash, but Bryan sidesteps. Kicks in the corner, multiple drop kicks until Kofi jumps and hits a double stomp out of the corner. Kofi thrashed Bryan off the chamber 5 times until Bryan threw him through a pod using Kofi's own momentum from a bulldog attempt. Bryan hits the knee, but Kofi kicks out. Bryan stomps Kofi's face and goes for a pin, and Kofi kicks out. Trouble in Paradise for 2. A label lock, but Kofi gets to the ropes. Bryan and Kofi on top of a pod, and Kofi smashes Bryan's head off the plexiglass walls. Kofi goes for a superplex, but Bryan smashes Kofi's head off the wall. Bryan goes for a superplex, but Kofi stops him and kicks him off. Kofi misses a huge frog splash off the pod, and then Bryan hits a knee strike. Bryan eliminates Kofi Kingston. This has been the second time Bryan has started an Elimination Chamber and won it. Bryan leaves, and Kofi chants "Fill the Arena." The New Day run down to check and console their partner. "Thank you, Kofi" chants all the way up the ramp until we go off the air. This match was awesome. I didn't expect anyone but Bryan to win, but Kofi should be his opponent at WrestleMania and have a bigger feel-good moment at WrestleMania. I feel like everyone did their thing, but this was Kofi's match. Guys, I'm going to give it to Sid, then I'm going to give it to you, John. What say you?
Yeah, well, I think I think I talked to you about this yesterday as well, but but you know what? The more I think about it, I know in the beginning I said that I don't see it happening or whatever, but the more I think about it, I think definitely it definitely could happen because I'm also drawing parallels to what Seth Rollins did right before his chamber match last year. He was the man. He was the 1 hour man last year, and look at him now. He's got an opportunity against Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they could follow a similar trajectory with Kofi Kingston and at least give him a shot against Daniel Bryan. Will he win? I'm not sure. He should, but I don't know if they will put the title on him. I think that he has a lot of potential. I'm definitely got a lot more respect for this man after this match. I'll give you that. But I think a match at Mania is definitely is warranted for Kofi Kingston. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if Vince McMahon sees anything else on Kofi except the guy who traded in his Jamaican accent for a plate of pancakes. So
I'd have to
I
disagree
think
with you. I'd have to
yeah,
disagree with you just because it feels like on SmackDown, from SmackDown to Elimination Chamber, and everything after that happened from the match, it feels like they're rebuilding Kofi to be
okay,
seen as something different. There was a time when he dropped a Jamaican accent and went after Randy Orton, and he boom dropped him through a car, and
yeah,
then out of
Or he
nowhere,
poured paint
the
all over his
push
new
was
car and
stopped.
put him through a table and
yeah,
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, with the New Day's success, I think it could propel him, as it is, into a match at WrestleMania. Because really, we have Fastlane coming up, and since this title, Fastlane is a little bump in the road,
Yeah.
who else are they going to build up for Daniel Bryan to face?
Exactly.
Yeah.
John?
When Kofi was going to come off the pod, I expected to see a boom drop, not a splash. But since they were clearly planning on Bryan moving, I can understand why the boom drop would have been a bad choice. That's that's broken tailbone city.
Right.
So yeah, but this man right here
yeah.
is the new #1 contender for that title, and should be facing him at Mania, and should win it at Mania.
I agree.
But let me ask you guys this then: if Kofi does win, are we not gonna think about the prospect of him just possibly being like a transitional champion?
To me, I don't even care because
Doesn't bother me at all.
he just needs to have that title at least once. He already has the accolade of the longest reigning tag team champion.
Yeah,
He already has a legacy. He's been in a stable that has been running strong for like 3 years. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember this, but in the Attitude Era, when Kane first came out, he beat Stone Cold for the title and lost it the next day. So,
right.
I mean, and I have no gripes with that.
yeah,
Right, but see, that was when he was like kind of first coming out. Kofi's an established star. I would think they would give him a good, sizable title run.
Kofi's an established star. How many Intercontinental titles has he won? How many U.S. titles has he won? How many tag team titles has he won?
Right, I'm saying the career of Kane when he first came out versus Kofi now. I'm saying, look, take those people in their positions that you're talking about and compare right now. I know that Kane has won a lot. I know that Kane now is a much more established star. But when he was first starting out and he won that WWE title, yeah, he lost it the next day because that at that time he was still relatively new to the company. However, now Kofi Kingston at this point is a much more established star, and I think he deserves more than just being a transitional champion.
yeah.
I agree. I agree with you.
If he does win it, you know who's gonna take it off him. Big E.
Well, there's a number of ways they could go.
Yeah.
Because I kind of see it like if Harper comes back and joins Rowan and Daniel Bryan, and they could have a whole faction feud.
Yeah.
And then Bray Wyatt can enter the fray, take his family back, and wrestle Daniel Bryan as Big E goes for Kofi's title.
Yeah.
This is all fantasy booking here, but
Yeah.
I would love to see that scenario. Or keep Kofi looking strong, have a triple threat with Bryan, Bray, and Kofi, and have one of the other two win. Either way, Kofi Kingston, I believe when you were on DJ Storm's Storm stream, he said he's 37 years old.
Yeah.
When will he get his Randy Orton contract? You know what I mean?
For real.
I don't know if he's going. I think this might, lead to a title win, and then maybe not transitional champion, but like a little bit more than that, and then get his Randy Orton contract. With that said, for me, the Elimination Chamber gets a B minus. The 2 chamber matches and the cruiserweight match were all great. The Intercontinental title match was good. The Becky spot was awesome. But aside from those things, everything else was skippable. The good stuff was really good, and the bad stuff was eh. So that's my grade for the Elimination Chamber. John, what's your grade?
B minus is fair, but just because of how much I enjoyed those 2 chamber matches, I might give solid B.
I was in between B and B minus, really, actually. And Sid?
Yeah.
Kofi would have won that title, would have been A plus.
Right.
Yeah. So as far as NerdyMark,
that whole room wanted it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So as far as like on the NerdyMark scale, I give this one a thumbs up, but just by barely. And as far as a letter grade, I'm going to give it a B.
Well, for those who don't know the NerdyMark scale, could you tell us what that is?
Yeah, it's so instead of doing like stars or letter grades or scale of 1 to 10, I usually give it either from 2 thumbs down, 1 thumbs down, and my middle ground rating used to be a thumbs down and a thumbs up, but I changed it recently to duh bar, and then it's of course 1 thumbs up and 2 thumbs up.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So we're all pretty much in agreement that this was a B to B minus show, which means good. Yeah. It was good. So good for WWE for not wasting my time.
No shit.
Sid, thank you for being on today. We really enjoyed the conversation as usual.
Yeah.
This week we will be covering Pac versus Ospreay, Impact Uncaged, and NXT from this week. Later for Armbar Audio, and
we got Dream Gargano for that North American title this week.
Yep. So.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
Wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and peace and love to all of you. Bang!